Hey guys, today I'm going to show you an Oxidizer build that you can use in Legendary or any other content in the game. This Oxidizer build is quite a easy build to make compared to the other version of the Oxidizer build, and this one also hits quite hard. So let me take you through the pieces on this build. Alright, so on here we're going to be running 4 pieces of Future Initiative. So when you have 2 pieces you get 30% repair skills. When you have 3 pieces, you get 15% skill haste and 30% skill duration. When you have the 4th piece, you unlock the brand talent called Ground Control. So it increases you and your ally's total weapon and skill damage by 15% when at full armor. When you repair an ally, you and all allies within 5 meters of you are also repaired for 60% of that amount. So for the pieces on this build, we have the mask. Okay, so on here I have skill tier, skill damage, and skill haste. Everything is gonna have skill damage with a skill haste gear mod. So this is the mask. I have the chest piece on, skill tier, skill damage, skill haste. The glove, skill tier with skill damage, and the holster, skill tier with skill damage. So there's a reason we have the chest piece on, because he has a special talent called Tactical Superiority. So this increases ground control damage bonus from 15% to 25%. So I actually only learned this recently, even though I've played this game for so long. Where it says here, when you gain the ground control buffs when at full armor. So if you're with a team of 4 and 2 of your teammates are at full armor, and say you and the other teammates are not at full armor, the teammates that are on full armor will have the Future Initiative buff. You and the other teammates that are not on full armor will not have the Future Initiative buff. So it actually depends on each individual whether or not their armor is if their armor is full, then they get the Future Initiative buff. If it's not, then you don't get the buff. So it's actually it's not what I used to think is, if I'm at full armor and I'm running this, say running Future Initiative, I thought I had to be at full armor and then everyone gets the buff, but it doesn't actually work that way. It's individually. So if you're not at full armor and 3 of your teammates are at full armor, all those 3 get the buff and you don't. So that's how it works. For the other piece, I have the Fox's Prayer knee pads. So on here I have skill tier, damage target of cover, and skill damage. So damage to target out of cover is one of the only it only works on the Oxidizer. So Oxidizer is the only skill that actually the damage increases with damage to armor and damage to target out of cover. Damage to armor affects other skills. Damage to target out of cover doesn't affect any other skill apart from the Oxidizer. So it's really good to use with the Oxidizer. For the last piece is the backpack. I'm using the exotic Oxidizer backpack. So here you get skill tier, skill damage, and skill haste. I have a skill haste gear mod. And this is called One in Hand. That is a talent. Throwing a grenade refunds it and grants 1 skill tier for 15 seconds. Grants overcharge if already at skill tier 6. Cooldown 60 seconds. So 2 in the bag, you get 1 armor kit capacity plus 3 grenade capacity, 25% ammo capacity, 10% repair skills, and 10% stays effect. What I like about the Oxidizer backpack compared to the BTSU glove, so you can overcharge twice the amount as BTSU glove, because the cooldown on the BTSU glove is 160 seconds, whereas on the Acosta it's 60 seconds, which is quite nice. But the downside is that you do not overcharge your teammates, you only overcharge yourself. So that's the only downside to using the Oxidizer backpack. For my skills, I'll be running the Oxidizer, of course, okay, and I'll be running the Restorer Hive, because we've got repair skills on this build. Also, when we overcharge, our repairs are even better. Also, this is just to keep my Future Initiative buff going. So I've tried it with the Artificer, and most of the time, if I'm trying to use the Oxidizer, maybe that's just me how I'm using it, but I noticed that I get shot quite a bit, especially in Legendary, and I'm not always at full armor, so I'm not taking advantage of the buff. So that's why I've got a Restorer Hive on here, just to keep me at full armor, so then the buff is always active, but also you can keep your teammates buff active as well, because you're also going to be healing them. The healing on this is actually not too bad, it's still pretty good. For my skills, I'm using the Marine Super 90 shotgun. So this has damage to armor and damage to target of cover. on here I have in sync. So hitting an enemy grants 15% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 50% damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So in here you can use any other gun. This is better. If you saw my first Oxidizer build, we have damage to armor and damage target of cover. This is why if you notice the people that do speedruns on Legendary, they have the Marine Super 90 with InSync, because you have damage to armor and damage target of cover, and you can basically do more damage. So for this build, I got used to using the Marine Super 90 with InSync. So if you want to, you can use any other gun on here, as long as it has InSync, or you can even use the test subject or the capacitor. It's completely up to you on what weapons you want to use. For my secondary gun, I have the capacitor, the Scorpio, sorry. For this, just in case I get pushed, I will use the Scorpio, right? And for my pistol, I have the Card 45 with InSync as well. For my specialization, I have the Technician specialization, so you can get extra 10% skill damage on here. There's one problem with the build. I actually have too many skill tiers, so you can change one of the cores to either a weapon damage, or you can change it to an armor core. Depends on what you want to change it to. So for example, you can see you get one skill tier from the Technician. I'm actually wasting a skill tier on here, so you can change whatever you want on the other pieces, whether it's an armor core or a weapon damage. The other benefits you get from using Technician is you also get 12% damage to drones, skill proxies, and robotics. So that's really useful in Legendary. I think I already showed you 10% skill damage. You can even go 10% skill healing if you wanted to, just to repair your teammates or heal your teammates and yourself. So let me show you it in the shooting range. The damage on this is pretty good, actually. It's a pretty easy build to make. The only piece you'll probably struggle to actually get is probably the Fox Spares knee pads. So say you wanted to make an Oxidizer build quickly, you can probably just do one run in Petco. You'll get all these pieces straight away. I'm sure you'll have the Acosta backpack. It's a pretty common exotic, and this will probably be the hardest piece. If you saw my other Oxidizer build, the pieces are quite difficult to get, so this is another way you can probably do this in a couple hours and get the right pieces. Okay, so let me show you the damage on the Oxidizer. Okay, so this is with the Future Initiative buff. So I'm actually going to do it without the Future Initiative buff. Okay, so I'm just going to damage myself. So you can see the Future Initiative logo or the icon is actually gone. So this, I'm not going to proc InSync either. It does 165. Okay, so without the Future Initiative, I'm just going to show another one just so it doesn't disappear. So it's doing... Why are the numbers showing down there? It's weird. Okay, so I think it was doing around 208, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so 235. Yeah, so 235 without the ground control buff from Future Initiative, and this is with InSync. Okay, so it's at 235 for the damage. Okay, then I'm going to just heal myself quickly. Okay, I'm going to reset that. Okay, so I'm going to do it with the Future Initiative buff. Okay, so this is just a Future Initiative buff. We go to 206. Okay, then I'm going to do it with the InSync. So it goes to 294. Okay. Don't know why my numbers keep going down there. It's weird. I think we got 294. Yeah, there we go. 294. So that's with InSync and the ground control buff from Future Initiative. Okay, then I will throw a grenade to proc overcharge. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. Okay, overcharge. I'm gonna shoot this. So we get 232 with overcharge, and then we get 331. 331 for the Oxidizer damage. That is with the Future Initiative buff, the overcharge, and InSync procced. But you can see their armor is going down quite fast, is killing them. So do that again. You'll do quite a bit of damage with the shotgun as well. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty much it, guys. And the healing, I'll show you the healing. So if I damage myself, I'm gonna do healing's not too bad on this either. Okay, just gonna heal myself. Yeah, it's pretty fast, not too bad. Can get full armor straight away and get the buff straight away. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the build. It's a pretty fast build to make. This is the only piece you might struggle a little bit on, but you remember you can get this with a weapon core, and then just maybe change the where I have skill damage, change whatever you get on there into a skill damage, and you can just have the core as a red. So you can actually make this really fast. All right, I reckon you can probably make this build within an hour or so. It's a pretty fast build to make. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that build video, and peace.